Today, we're going to be looking at Chronos Builder, the tabletop RPG 3D map making software. They've come out with 7 new features, and we're going to go through those 7 new features, but I'm also going to do something a little special for you as well. I am going to show you how you can get your copy of Chronos Builder absolutely free, or get an opportunity to get a copy of it. I'm going to tell you that on the other side. Welcome everyone, nerds, geeks, leets, and everyone in between. This is RPG Elite. This is the place where I focus on putting the RP back into RPG. And how I do this is I give you tips, I give you tutorials, I give you real talk, uncomfortable talk about the tabletop RPG space and culture, because we need to go there, because these are things that actually come up that are relevant. And also I give you a look at new tools like I'm doing today with Chronos Builder. So I'm going to give you these 7 new features. Then I'm going to see you on the other side with the question of the vid. And again, give you a way to get an opportunity to get your own copy of Chronos Builder absolutely free. Keep it locked, and I'll see you on the other side.
Okay, everyone, in this video, we're going to go through the new features for Chronos Builders, but I do have to add a disclaimer, and that disclaimer is that Chronos Builder is still a work in progress. It does not mean that you cannot make maps, because we're getting ready to see quite clearly that you can, and you can make some dope maps, but there are some things that are still works in progress in terms of the controls, and we will go through and point those out as we go here. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and give this map a name, and we're going to call this the sample map. And we're just going to say highlight new features to give it a description. Oh, I can't spell. Wow, I'm messing up big time here, you know. And tags for this, I mean, we just keep the tags the same. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, put about 24 for the width, and do it like that. We're going to generate it. We're going to take a picture of it like that. Okay, that's what it looks like right now. When it comes to grid, whether it's light or whether it's dark, I just keep it on dark because it really doesn't matter, because I turn the grid off when I export it. All right, so there we go. Let's go and start looking at some of the cool new features in Chronos Builder one by one. Okay, so the first new feature we're going to look at is the new terrain feature, and you would just click right down here on this little mountain icon. It's going to pull up these biomes here, and it's going to default to this paint brush over here. You're not going to be able to do anything when you first open it up, because you have to enable it over here, which is kind of odd, because it would seem like if you're clicking on the button for terrain, it should be automatically enabled. So that's a little weird, but that might be something that they might want to change. So click over here, and now you see the terrain feature is enabled. Now, right now, grasslands is the only one that you can really do anything with. Apparently, they have some works in progress with urban, asteroid, and desert, but at the moment, they don't work. So what you would need to do is need to come back here to grasslands and work on these things, especially when it comes to the paint. And when it comes to paint here, it's just painting right over the terrain itself. So right here we have some, I think this is kind of like some dark greenage. No, this is the light greenage. Yeah, this is the kind of like the light greenage. You can kind of see it right there. Okay, and then you have the dark greenage, which is a little bit more apparent right there. And then you have kind of like a desert looking texture there, as you can see. Now, if we take a look at the other ones, that's what you get, right? And you don't really have anything, and you can't see anything. So that's why you just go with the grassland. Now, over here is your controls, and you can set the size, the strength, and the feather of this little reticle right here that you have. So for me, I like to set the size at about 10% when I'm doing little small things like that. But let's go down to the next one, which is the shovel icon right here, and click on that. And this is where we're going to get into terraforming. I'm going to move the map over a little bit so we can have some room. This is raising the terrain, So let me go ahead and I'm going to increase the size to about 30%. That's a good size to do this. And as you can see, it raises it up a little bit. Mountains there. Now you see the really sharp edges for the mountains and everything. Now if I wanted to go ahead and click on the next one, I could lower that terrain and put things in there as well, as you can see. Just clicking on it. And you can just click on it real quick and you can get different depressions inside of it, right? So you get like a really weird kind of mountainous area. This here will level it out, and here are your controls over here. And you can experiment with these as far as the strength and the feather and everything and the height and all the rest of that. I'm going to level this stuff out. There we go. Level it out up top. And then you can smooth out the edges so it can look more like hilly, you know, not so sharp, right? And you can kind of raise these up here, right? And then get a different look here. There you go. Yeah, we go. Come back over here. We can smooth it out. And so you can really, you know, just kind of experiment. There we go. Oh, that looks much better. But you can experiment with that. And you can also go back to the paint over here and paint over it. I like to use a pretty small brush when it comes to that. But let's say I wanted to paint kind of like a sandy, hilly area. So you just go like this. And you just paint right over it. So you get that sandy, hilly area there. And this is just really quick, right? See, because I would smooth this out over here because this is too sharp. So you can work it as much as you want. Let's go back like that. And that's how the terraforming works. And you got plenty of control here for each one of these, the leveling and the smoothing and everything. Then you have the last one with the liquid paint. I'm going to go over here and pull back a little bit. And I'm going to move this over. And the liquid paint is just a fancy way of saying that you can paint in your waterways. So I've got this at 10%. So I'm going to put this up to about 20. Do a main one right here. And there you go. You see the water's there. I'm going to take it down to about 5%. I'm going to do little tributaries on the side. There we go. Like that. And then if I want, I'm going to come in. I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to put it on smooth. Let's move this area out on the side here a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Not so sharp. So again, you've got this granular control, which I've always liked about Chronos Builder because the control is insane. The amount of control that you have over things and the things that you can do. It really is great for your right brain activity when it comes to map making. The next one, which is not really a new feature, but is new things that go with them, and that is the new structure and prop assets. So the new structures are going to be down here. As you can see, they have quite a few, and they've added the Victorian set as well since our last video. So if you click on each of these, then it'll just filter them down. Or you just click on all of them, and you can have all of them. So these are the structures. These are the walls, these are the windows, these are the pillars, those kind of things, and the floors. Over here, you have new prop assets. Now, there's quite a few new prop assets. So you don't want to go through all of these and try to find things. You just click on the search button and then put in what you want. Like if I put in chair, we have plenty of chairs here. About 40 something plus chairs here. And this is through all the different sets. So Victorian, medieval, sci-fi, cyberpunk has all these different kind of chairs that you can choose from once you put that in. Or if you put something in, like let's put in vehicle and see what we can find. So this is what we find in vehicles. That's pretty cool. Is that the Star Trek Enterprise right there? Let's drag it on and see what it is. It is the Star Trek Enterprise. Kind of, sorta, you know? And there's plenty of new ones. They're always making new assets. And so that's something that you're not going to have to be concerned with. You'll have plenty of assets to choose from. And again, remember, let me put that back up there just so you guys will know. Again, remember, you have these, you can rotate it however you want to rotate it. And one way to rotate it, oops, go back here. There we go. Go back here. There we go. And then this one here is a scale. Now you need this over here open in order to start doing your really granular work and detail on assets and or your structures and your whole map and things like that. We're not going to get into that because I got into that before in a former Chronos Builder video, and you can go ahead and click on that. That will be down in the description below as far as how all of those things work. So let's go on with another new added feature that was there but was not active, and that is the special effect and lighting. Now this is natural lighting. We're going to take a look at this here. It starts off with daytime. Now you can put it at space, but all right, that looks dope like that in the dark, but you cannot see anything. So obviously you're going to want to work in daytime. It also has weather effects for rain and for dust storm. These are just cosmetic because they do not export onto your map. They're just cosmetic if you want to know what it looks like, and then you want to actually activate some module or something that has those effects in your actual map. What you have here is you have your daytime, and what this does is it changes the natural lighting so that it casts shadows differently. So right now we're on noon. If I put it into morning, you can see how the shadows change and how everything just kind of got dim. Then we go over here to the evening, and it got a little darker and the shadows change. And if we go to night, it gets even darker. And you can change things like the color of the light. If I click on this, and let's say this is let's say it's Mars, and we always equate red with Mars, right? So let's make it reddish. Go over here and make it reddish. There you go. Let's make it a little bit like a little bit light red. See, there you go. Or we can go over here. We can make it bluish if we want to. We can go back down here and make it purple. So you have these options of these lights and the things that you can do with them in terms of how the map will export. So you can have the same map in the daytime, same map at night and evening, and have all these different things, especially if it's something like their headquarters or something like that. For the next one, we're going to be looking at just some of the new features for lighting and lighting control specifically. So if we go over here to this light over here, you click on your prop, and it has new controls. I have to turn it a little bit so you guys can see it. So you have two new controls over here. So this first one will turn the shadows in one way or the other way. So right now you have the shadows which are over here. If you switch it, then it switches the shadows around. So it goes back and forth, and you can see, especially over here, if you keep your eye on it, you can see how the shadows are switching around. Now you can also just turn the lights on and off. So if you don't want that light on, turn it off. And of course the shadows go away because there's no light there to cast it. So that is the things that you can do with all of your lighting, and that's pretty cool. So if you have candles, or if you have anything like fires or anything like that, or just your, cyberpunk modern lighting, you can go ahead and turn it on and off, and then switch the shadows around and give it some different kind of ambiance to your map setting. Now, the big thing and the new thing that was just fantastic was the new controls. I mean, before you had to use the arrow keys and you had to use them in conjunction. It was just very clunky. Man, thank the Lord they changed that. Now the zoom is really fast. You can go in and out. Doing this right here is just pressing and holding the right mouse button. You can move the whole map around by pressing and holding the scroll wheel. And you can just go in real quick, move things around, come back, move back, tilt it by pressing and holding, and then going up and down. I mean, the controls now are just a dream. Thank goodness, because before it was just kind of a bear, and I was like, man, I hope they don't keep it like this, and they didn't. So the controls just makes it so much easier, and it makes making maps fun. And that's really what we want to do. If we're going to be spending time making maps, we want to have fun. One thing you may not notice is that the top menu is not there because it is hidden by default now. It just comes down nice and smooth, nice and big letters here, and you can either lock it so it doesn't do that, or you can just unlock it, and every time you take it away, you got that little extra real estate at the top that you're going to want, trust me, especially when you're making maps. You may not think it's much, but something as simple as that, that's a great add. Now, one of the things that they have opened up is the community, and the community is where you can go ahead and upload your own maps and share them with the community. You get to it from the main menu here, click on community. It's going to pull up all of these maps that people from all over have made. And this is what I'm saying. Even with the things that are not working in Chronos Builder, look at what can be done. So let's pull up a couple of these maps just to see what people are doing. First one here, this one looks kind of cool. This is pandas. So this is simple. Bathroom. And it looks like somebody's doing a little something illegal in here. I'm just saying. It looks good. This is really good. These are things people are creating. This is dope. And you can subscribe to it as well. If you want to see more maps from those people, then you can go ahead and you can look at how many times it's been downloaded, how many times it's been favorited, the whole nine. So yeah, cool. Let's go to another one. Oh, this one looks good. This is Panda 2. Panda, you doing some good stuff here. See, that's dopeness. Oh, that's dopeness on the nth degree. Looks really good. Shoot, I'm thinking about subscribing now. Shoot, you keep it up, bruh. Shoot, make my life simple. Okay, let's do one more here so we could just see, so you guys can get a picture of, wow. Is this? Wow. Let's go with this one here and see what's up. Oh, wow. Look at this. That is dope. Let me show you how this works. So I can just push subscribe right here. All right. And I can load it into my Chronos Builder. And I can customize it if I want to. I can look at something and be like, yeah, I like that. I would like to make some changes here and there. But look, so now we've got everything. Wow, this is a good map, by the way. Good map, y'all. This is good stuff. Let me move this over like this. And I can go ahead. I can change stuff. You know, I can move this around. I can delete stuff. So that's the coolness and the power of community and being able to do some things, especially if you don't have the time, right? It's kind of like, man, week's been busy. I need a map and I got a little bit of time to do something. Okay, this right here, this is dopeness. This is really cool. This is what you can do with Chronos Builder right now with all the stuff that's not even working. Yeah, you need to get this and you need to get it right now. Now, all the things that Chronos Builder has added is good, but there are some things that are not working. And again, these are things that are works in progress. I already showed you some of the things that are not working on the terrain. They still have to add things in there. But when it comes down to this button right here that's supposed to work, the Chronos button, it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. For example, I have this whole room here. I'm going to pull back. And if I wanted to just, as it's pulled up here, I wanted to change it to medieval tavern, then all I would really need to do is just push this button and it would change it for me. However, as you can see, I'm pushing that button. There ain't a whole lot going on. It was working earlier, kind of on and off. It wasn't working consistently. Not real sure what's going on with that. And maybe it's something that I'm doing wrong. Don't think it is. because like I said, it was working earlier and then it just stopped working. So who knows what's going on here. But it would be a very cool feature if you just want to change the whole room into something and you want to switch the structures, which means that you also want to do the outside walls and the floors and everything else. And it's really cool that you can turn that off and still do that. So you can have walls that are medieval, but you can have the inside, which is a sci-fi lab. That would be dope. But apparently that ain't working too well right now. Another thing that's not working too well is not working at all. If I go over here and I click on my props, and then let's say I click on this prop right here, and we're going to open this up. One thing you can see over here as far as the rotation goes, so I can rotate that piece of equipment. See it? Oh man, I have to really go in because it's what's on top. Okay, let's come back here. Alrighty. So I can rotate what's on top here, as you can see. But when it comes to the rotation of the X and the Z, they do not work. Now you still can put in increments of what you want. So I can still rotate it like that if I want to, but you have to do it manually. You have to put your numbers in. It does not have it where you can rotate it one way or the other way, decrease or increase it. These are not working. Why? I'm not quite sure why they're not working, but they are not. But again, there's a workaround, and it's just by doing it manually, putting in the numbers manually. That's not a major deal, but it would be nice if you just want to do something really quick and do it just to see how it looks and then rotate it back. So those are some of the things that are not working, but more features are added, more assets are being added, and you can for sure make maps. As I showed you earlier, you can clearly make maps in Chronos Builder right now.
Now, if you go to the Chronos Builder Discord, you're going to find that, yep, there's other problems and everything. But did you see the maps that could still be made? Even though it's got its little quirks here and there, they're working it out, y'all. But they are working hard behind the scenes, and you can make some dope stuff. So, of course, if you're into the cyberpunk and the sci-fi and the more modern things, Victorian stuff, kind of steampunkish, then you can make some dope maps until your heart is content. It does have medieval assets as well, but I will say this, if you're going for the whole full fantasy thing, Dungeon Alchemist is probably the way to go. However, if you got a sci-fi campaign, there's no question about this. Chronos Builder is the one that you should go with, not a question. So I told you that I was going to reveal how you can get an opportunity to get a free copy of Chronos Builder for yourself. Well, it's here, and it is possible through becoming part of the LEET Squad. The guys over at Miss Wall Studios, they have given me 3 keys to give away, and I am going to do that. I'm going to do that once a month, and on the last day of the month, I'm going to announce who has won. But in order to enter the giveaway, you got to become part of the LEET Squad. And how do you do that? Very simple. Down in the description below, there is a link. That link is going to lead you to a landing page. That landing page is going to ask for your name and your email address. You are supposed to put it in, and what happens is that you will join the LEET Squad. The LEET Squad is just my, affectionate way of saying those elites, or those who are elite-ish. How's that? RPG elite-ish. And once a month, I'll come out with news about what's going on with RPG Elite. There may be some extra content in there that's exclusive to LEET Squad members. And always this year, for 2023, I want to have a monthly giveaway. So you guys are going to find out probably before anybody on the YouTube channel, because on the last day of the month, I'm going to release the winner. And I'll try to do it across all the platforms, so my YouTube and every place else. But the place where it will get announced first is those who are in the LEET Squad. So you got to be a part of the LEET Squad in order to have an opportunity. And you're gonna have 3 opportunities for this because I have 3 keys. That means that every month, for the next 3 months, you'll have an opportunity to get your copy. So go ahead, click on the link down in the description below. It is the LEET Squad sign up page. Click on that, fill out the info, just your name and your email, and you will be entered automatically for an opportunity to win a copy of Chronos Builder in RPG Elite's new monthly giveaway. Hey, if you guys like this video today, go ahead, give a brother a little bit of YouTube algorithm love. Hit that like button for a brother. Also, hey, if you want to stick around, if this is your first video, sorry about laughing, but you might want to do a little bit more research before you hit the subscribe button. Hey, I'm just saying, you know, because I'm probably going to say something to make you upset. But if you think, hey, I'm still cool with the dude, I just won't watch those videos, I'll just watch the stuff that I want to watch, fine, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right now. Question of the vid for today is this: out of the 7 new features that you see in Chronos Builder that I just covered, which ones kind of interest you the most, or which one interests you the most? And can you see yourself using Chronos Builder in something? You're a novelist, game master, or just even somebody who likes to tinker around with maps and then give them to other people. I mean, you know, your mileage is going to vary, obviously, but I really want to know which of the new features that you like that we've covered here today. Or, hey, which features of Chronos Builder, if you've seen any of my other videos, do you like, period, right? That interest you in the software. Let me know down in the comments below. And not only will that interest me in terms of seeing how you respond, it's also going to interest those guys over at Miss Wall Studios so they know, you know, maybe what direction you can turn. You and your voice are important. Hey, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Let me do my snagglepuss.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you have a tabletop RPG session this week, then I hope it is a fantastic tabletop RPG Elite session. So until next time, God willing, y'all, coming up on Friday, classic tabletop RPG. Peace, y'all, and grease. 5,000 leech, you know what a brother is? I'm outie.